Over the years, there have been multiple major reasons why people prefer playing their favorite video games on the PC. Some people just prefer to play with a mouse and keyboard because it makes them more accurate. Others like the flexibility and multitask-centric nature of the personal computer, and others, well, others like PC gaming for a different reason. Mods. And Half-Life, you know, the game this whole channel is based around, probably has one of the biggest modding communities out there. And since we cover a boatload of mods on this channel, you have probably seen or heard of a plethora of them. But the mod we're talking about today takes things a notch further. And with that I mean that this mod turns the game on its head and is pretty much an entire genre change. And that mod is called Half-Life Year of the Dragon, and it features a certain purple dragon named Spyro. And I got the opportunity to play the brand new demo version that is slated to come out tomorrow early. Let's get straight into it. LambdaGeneration. This week's Fanart of the Week is by a community member at Lucky. Congratulations! Your pixel art depiction of the Resonance Cascade sure is a pretty accurate one. I like how buff Gordon looks. He's a gym god. Want your Fanart to be featured in the next episode? Well, that's possible. Post it via our community website at community.lambdageneration.com and make sure you post it in the fan art category in order to qualify. And maybe your Fanart will be the next one I talk about. Half-Life Year of the Dragon is a mod developed by Magic Nipples, a prominent figure in the Half-Life community. We first covered this mod all the way back in 2018 when its development was first made public over on ModDB, and it's been a crazy ride so far, winning much acclaim from the community. Now, in case you're wondering what in the world a Spyro is, allow me to quickly explain that to you. Spyro the Dragon was originally a trilogy of games released on the original PlayStation by Insomniac Games and Universal Interactive. Most recently, Spyro received a remaster of this original trilogy named Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, and it was developed by Toys for Bob and published by Activision. The games are simple but fun platformers where you control Spyro through various adventures, collecting gems and saving fellow dragons. At least, that's what you do in the first game. I haven't played the others yet, but I should probably get to that. Alright, now that I quickly explained what Spyro is, what does this mod do exactly? Well, the TLDR is, it puts Spyro in the first Half-Life game. But the full answer is quite a bit longer than that, so if you haven't clicked off this video yet, I'd like to get a little deeper into it. When I said that this mod puts Spyro in Half-Life, what I really meant was that this mod really puts Spyro in Half-Life, with his full feature set and all. Spyro can headbutt, breathe fire, fly around for a bit, and even ground pound. When you're playing this mod, you really feel like you're playing a Spyro game, but you're actually playing Half-Life with Spyro in it. Or are you? Because what if I told you that when I said that this mod really puts Spyro in Half-Life, I was actually lying. Because this mod actually rebuilds Half-Life around Spyro. The Black Mesa research facility, and in this demo its office complex, has been modified to fit Spyro's moveset more properly. A couple of days ago I have been sent an official demo version of Half-Life Year of the Dragon that I was allowed to play before it released. And I was even allowed to make a video on it too. And that's what you're watching right now. So without further ado, let's nosedive straight into this demo. Like I mentioned before, the gameplay of this mod is very reminiscent of what you'd actually find in the original Spyro games. It's actually quite impressive. Spyro's moves are actually here. You can breathe fire and burn monsters and people to a crisp. You can headbutt enemies as well. You can glide through the air for a little bit, and you can even ground pound to break through weak parts of the floor. Now, it's of course very cool that these mechanics are now in the game, but Spyro obviously needs a reason to use those mechanics. And the original office complex was not quite built for Spyro's moveset, so things had to change. Magic Nipples rebuild the entirety of Office Complex to fit Spyro's moves properly, and it works like, well, magic. Not only is playing as Spyro through these levels incredibly fun, but it's also really refreshing. A lot of us have probably played through the Office Complex chapter dozens of times before, so seeing an entirely different version of it in this mod is pretty good. From looking at this gameplay, you may have also seen some gems laying around the place that can be collected. It's not entirely clear though what you can do with these points once you have collected many of them, but hey, it's just a demo, so maybe in the future we'll see something for that. Another interesting thing that changed in this mod is the combat. Since you're now a purple dragon, you can take on the standard Half-Life enemies in some different ways. The main attacks you'll use against the zombies, headcrabs, vortigons, barnacles, and bull squids are your fire breath and your headbutt move. No, Spyro can't carry a Glock. Sorry, gamers. Because of this change in character and moveset, the combat feels entirely different from that of the standard Half-Life. Enemies who used to not be that much of a threat, like headcrabs, are now suddenly a real hazard as they fly towards you to bite you. Spyro doesn't always turn around very well, so responding to headcrabs quickly could be a challenge sometimes. That, paired with the new health system indicated by Spyro's little helper named Sparks, makes the combat different, fresh, but still challenging in most situations. Make sure you watch out for health boxes attached to walls that are littered throughout the demo to gain back an extra hit point. Gameplay is of course the most important thing for a mod like this, but the eye wants something to munch on as well, and this mod provides pretty well in that department too. Now remember when I said that this was a mod for Half-Life? Well, yes it is, but it's also technically not, because this mod runs on the Zash engine, the reverse-engineered version of the Gold Source engine that is a little bit more malleable. This engine makes it possible to add gloss to textures, shadows to character models, and actual reflective mirrors in bathrooms. These things were a lot harder to achieve in the box standard Gold Source engine, and these things make Year of the Dragon stand out with its visuals. Another example of a mod that uses Zash pretty successfully is Signal Lost by Jane Thrace. But it's not only these improvements that make this mod look good, because the level of detail in the geometry is admirable as well. Most areas look incredibly detailed, and you can tell that these levels have been crafted with a lot of love and care. It's pretty amazing to see Office Complex this detailed. Spyro himself also looks absolutely fabulous. From his model to his animations, everything about him feels incredibly polished and almost like the developers behind the Spyro Reignited trilogy were behind it. Well, they are credited in the credits for their animation work, so I assume some of Spyro's animations were actually taken from the Reignited trilogy and then slightly modified. Spyro is the main reason why you'd play this mod, so it's pretty natural that a lot of care has been put into his presentation here. You can even change his skin to various colors and effects in the customization screen in the main menu. This wasn't necessary, but I'm glad it's here. All in all, this mod is pure eye candy, and I really want to pet Spyro now. But I won't do that because he may bite my hand off. How did I get here? Alright, so this is all I'm willing to talk about right now for this mod, because I really want you to go ahead and play it for yourself. Of course, I left a link down in the description below. It'll become available on ModDB once it's ready tomorrow, and by the time you're watching this, it might already be out. This mod, among a whole bunch of others, really show how much passion there really is in the Half-Life community to create great experiences. Because you know, if Valve is going to take their sweet time to release an official new first-person entry in the Half-Life series, we'll just have to create stuff ourselves. Major kudos to Magic Nipples for creating this mod and for sending us an early build of this. I loved what I played and I really appreciate it. This mod single-handedly got me into playing the official Spyro games a while back, and I've been having a pretty good time with them. So if you like this mod, then you might like the official Spyro games as well. Alright, now go play this mod. It's one of a kind. Because I don't think we're going to get anything like this for at least a while. Like, what would be next, right? Crash Bandicoot in Half-Life?